Okay, so here's the Stampede all opened up. So there are a couple things I want to go over and just have you guys take a look at before we actually dive in. Here's the battery tray. So it's very similar to the Vulcan's, obviously. Its back is actually the back of the stock, and it's got the electrical inputs. So this this blaster has a bunch of pressure sensors. The wiring here is nice thick wiring. They use thin wiring in the Vulcan and in most of their actually electrical products. So this wiring impresses me. So if we take this out, which is the jam door, there's a pressure sensor back there. There's one here, and there's one right here. Now all three of those have to be pushed back for the blaster to fire. This is the clip one, the one back there is the jam door one, and the one here is a second clip lock. I don't know why there's two, that seems unneeded. Anyway, this is the motor, this is the gearbox, so when the trigger is pulled, it moves this, which allows the gears to rush forward. This whole assembly actually moves forward when this blaster is fired, which is what creates the normal plunger look. Alright, so pretty much what we have to do now is a bunch of unscrewing, but first thing is this, and then this. So unscrew those, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so once we unscrew this, the back piece here, and the front ring, we're left with what looks like the plunger and the plunger tube. So I'm going to lift that gently out, lay the catch over there. Actually kind of surprised I could do that one-handed. There's screws, yes. Unscrew those two screws in the back, and I think that will give us access to the internals. Alright, so I have a full open of the plunger. I took this off the front here simply by undoing it. The actual plunger size is rather disappointing. It's just slightly larger than that of a night finder. So I'm thinking I'm going to be putting some probably insulation piping in those crevices for a little bit of reinforcement. So I'm definitely going to be putting a stronger spring than this in. Let's see. This assembly does not move. That's one solid piece, which is nice. Now we have to deal with that air restrictor. So the way I'm going to do that is with a very long drill bit. A couple other ways to do it are with a screwdriver, like a long screwdriver. Like something like this would not be long enough, but get a long screwdriver, place it in the end of the plunger, and then tap it with the hammer until it pops out the other side. So choose whichever method you have the materials for, and the air restrictor should pop out just fine. So now that we're done that, we have a nice air opening for the airflow to travel down. So I actually used the drill to make the original opening, and then a long screwdriver and the hammer to take out this piece, because it's quite annoying. Quite annoying. But now we have a nice clean chamber. I'm going to go wash that out so I get the rest of the particles out of it. So we've got that. This slides back into it. The next thing to do is to pad this. So I'm probably going to, where is these? Going to use a couple of these for that. Hopefully a few will fit onto it. But first I have to wash it, get all the lubricant off the front. So let's go wash this and that. Okay. Okay, so I have that all padded up. Put the O-ring back on it. I added a chain blazer spring to the stock spring here. So what that'll do is obviously increase the range. It'll also make it fire slightly slower because it's going to take longer to actually pull back. So the way we fix that is upping the voltage. That will be in the next video. So for this video, this is just the basics. So what we have to do is put the spring back on here, put this back in here, and reassemble it. I'm going to do this in steps and give you little clips of each step so you are aided in the reassembly process. So the first thing you need to do is put this ring down. Now we have our fully assembled plunger, and I'm sorry, this is hard to do with one hand. So now we have that in place. Now we need the second part of this ring to go down. Good. So screw that in place, and then we'll deal with this, which you slide this onto. So that goes under here, which I'm not going to be able to do with one hand, and then this goes on top of that. Good, so we have the ring screwed on, and we have this back piece screwed on. So that's how it should all look. Then this next piece pops on. Actually, I have no idea how. Looks like it goes on like that. Screw that down, and that's how your internals should look. So if everything is all like this, then you're good to put the other side of the shell on. Oh, excuse me, forgot the jam door. So if everything looks like this, then you can go ahead and put the other side on. Again, I can't do that one-handed. Whatever. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. So it's very, very simple so far. I'll be doing the reworking the batteries next mod for it. 18-shot clip. These clips are really long. Safety's off. So let's see this fire, and you'll notice this fire is a little bit slower than the stock one because it takes longer to pull back the extra spring, but it also goes quite a bit further. See for yourself. Let's make sure I'm in the camera here.